attraction. I'm about to get mean. I'm about to get loud. Spotlight on me when I take my bow. You're gonna pay full price if you want front row. I got a Hollywood star. I got my name in stone. Are you ready for the show? I sit back and let's go. I'm gonna blow your mind. I am a superstar, and I knew I'd come this far. You better make way. Get off my stage. Lights, camera, action. I'm the main attraction. I'm the main attraction. You're gonna feel your heartbeat when it starts to rush. I wanna look, leave your jaw wide open, cause I'm illustrious. Are you ready for the show? I sit back and let's go. I'm gonna blow your mind. I am a superstar, and I knew I'd come this far. You better make way. Get off my stage. Lights, camera, action. I'm the main attraction. I'm the main attraction. I am a superstar, and I knew I'd come this far. You better make way, get off my stage, lights, camera, action. I'm the main attraction. I'm the main attraction.
Come on.
It's got to be 12 o'clock, right? So that means it's beer time.
Gather round, people, we're going to have a little sideshow about the dinosaurs here.
This is one hell of a roll cage.
Come 9,000 miles to wreck each other.
Now, I don't have hobo stab insurance. Funny idea at first that somehow we're sitting here in Australia with a couple of wrecked race cars, drinking beer and laughing about it.
Like this?
Are they edible?
I think I f***ed up.
We say that this is the original Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship. 52 years for one race, and really for one racetrack to stand the test of time is pretty damn cool, if you ask me.
Race On will be streaming the Tom Series exclusively next year, so we're excited for that opportunity.
And I'm just kind of interested to kind of see what the car counts are going to be like this weekend, and really what the fan counts may be like.
If we were to stop streaming that event, you were not coming anyway. You were still going to have your pizza party. You were just going to watch something else on television.
You're running factory stocks first, limiteds, B mods. Like, those are your top three premier. Those are the fastest classes, if you will. And I think those are probably the most popular amongst the fans. Let's just be honest.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. Here at Hercules Foundation Repair, we are here to help with our free in-home evaluations and personal repair plans. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection.
Hi, welcome to Day Motorsports. Come on, check out what we got. Thank you for keeping Day Motorsports in business for over 50 years.
Drag race to the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you back to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV, CRN, the playoffs of the Northwest Racing Series. Of course, we are now under the lights at the Virtual Auto Club Speedway. It is the final 3 races of the season before we crown a champion. Actually, this is the final race of the playoff race before we lock in the championship final next Monday night, as a matter of fact. Welcome to coverage. I'm Wesley Outland. Jeremy Stanley is alongside. Of course, Charles Wooten is joining us as well. Our apologies, by the way, for not being with you last Monday night. I think Charles had some severe weather, and it knocked out the internet at the production truck in Wichita Falls, Texas, and we weren't able to get on the air. But, Jeremy, nonetheless, buddy, we're ready. It is the road to the finale. This is the final race of the playoff semifinal. If you want to go to the championship race, you better do something tonight. Good evening.
Good evening, man. This track is going to produce some excellent racing, being the second to final race to set the playoff final 4 at Homestead next week. You guys are in for a treat here. All of our drivers are in here in the playoffs, all 8 of them, and they're all really close, tight-niched in points. We got about 17, 18 cars look like that have joined in for this evening. And this track is going to get spaced out, spread out. You're going to see all the lanes being used. And it's nighttime, too. So the grip's going to be on the track. And you have complete driver's choice around this place. It is going to be a fantastic race this evening.
My friend, you sound like you're in a tunnel. Are you doing laundry in the laundry room or something?
It's a newer microphone. Is it better right here? No, I'm in my computer room, man.
Might be a setting you need to change. Nonetheless, Devin West, Dan West Jr., these drivers are 1 and 2. Tyler King, Jeff Stabnow, guys that are looking to try to punch their ticket possibly into the championship round. They can do it tonight if they can just stay intact to where they are right now. I think you could see these guys fighting for the championship. But if you're somebody on the outside looking in, no doubt about it, you want to make some noise, Steven. I'm sorry, you want to make some noise, Jeremy, and you want to put yourself in contention to try to advance here.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully this sounds a little better on your end here. And just a quick rundown on the points. Your top 4 advance to next week, which right now your top 4 is Devin West, Dan West Jr., Tyler King, Jeff Stabnow. 5th place is only 5 points out with Brett Johnson. And you got another 6 points to find Paul Newton. And then 7th and 8th are tied. It's Troy Daggett and Roy Grande at minus 20. So those guys, as long as there's less than 20 entries, are virtually locked out. So it's really up to Brett Johnson and Paul Newton to secure a spot by beating Jeff Sabnow and Tyler King.
Yeah, right now, Devin West, Dan West Jr., Tyler King, and Jeff Stabnow are those drivers that literally have punched their ticket in right now, currently to the Championship 4 finale, beginning next week, by the way, at Homestead Miami Speedway. We're here at Auto Club tonight, and we're seeing qualifying real quickly as we see Sean Breitzman hit the racetrack. What might have been for him, he got eliminated earlier in the playoff round and never rebounded. It's not been the perfect season for Sean Breitzman, Jeremy.
No, yeah, a couple mishaps here and a couple race miss, and it's fine though. You can't win them all, and show up next year and do better. And he's got all the skill. He's done it before. A little loose here through 1 and 2. No, I'm way loose. Not what you want to see there. Destroy the right side of that truck. So he's on the back. That one down. Now he's viewed Devin West, but yeah, 46. He can get great recovery here from the final 2 races and show up for 2025 with a huge run of momentum. But of course, he's got to put in that work, and let's see what he can do with it.
A couple of wins this year, back in the month of April, was a big year for Sean Breitzman. April 1st, and that's not an April Fool's joke. He won at Atlanta, and then of course April the 29th, he won at the Kansas Oval for the driver of the number 46 machine. There's Devin West, the man that is obviously the Pied Piper of the Northwest this year and last year. The defending series champion has already got 7 wins this year, including most recently the race in October 14th at Rockingham. And last week, which unfortunately we were not able to broadcast, boo, but he won Texas. And that gives him 7 wins this year. Wins at Richmond, Watkins Glen, Darlington, New Hampshire, Charlotte, Rockingham, Texas Motor Speedway. And he is guaranteed to go to the championship finale next week at Homestead, Jeremy. And there's Jeff Stabnow.
Yeah, there he is. He's going to put in, at least Jeff Stabnow needs to finish strong here to have an excellent chance and advancing. He's got 5 points separates him between being in and being out. He got 17, 18 entries, whatever that final number looks like to be. He can't make much mistakes. All these guys in this top 8 are really fast, and at any moment they can have a breakout race. And so being 5 points, that's, you gotta be on your A game here tonight.
Jeff Stabnow, Billings, Montana, number 24, up the racetrack, the Daytona winner, a 2-time Daytona champion, former Truck Series champion, and more. Here he comes out of the line of that 24 Ford. Got some new colors, and obviously of the red, white, and blue, and we'd like to acknowledge our veterans on this Veterans Day 2024. Thank you for your service. Thank you for those that fought for our country and that have perished and died to allow us to have the freedoms that we enjoy, like iRacing or real racing, or just being able to have the freedom to walk outside and enjoy our life. That is, again, a big thanks. Happy Veterans Day from everybody at CRN and LSRTV. As Jeff Stabnow working his way around the racetrack. He needs to have a really solid lap here now, Stephen. As we watch guys like Devin West, Dan West Jr., Tyler King, Jeff Stabnow, and Jeremy, he can go to the championship 4 if he can just hold on to his position. But honestly, if you can win the race, that would even be a lot more better in his opportunities to go to Homestead in 2 weeks or next week.
Yeah, if you win, you're in. That's what Jeff needs to do if he 100% certain wants to make it through. Absolutely. He's got that 5-point buffer, but if you win, of course, that 5-point buffer won't matter. Because somebody else that's behind you, like Paul Newton or Brett Johnson, cannot outdo you. So you're locked in at that point into the next race, which is at Homestead next week. A little loose here for the 72. Looks like this track, Wesley, turn 2 seems to be the troublesome corner, at least in this qualifying session. It is flat. It's a fast corner. It releases into the flat a little bit earlier than turn 4 does. And that might be a troublesome spot, even for the strong guys here this evening.
Yeah, we're trying to get a couple more trucks on the racetrack, it looks, to qualify. But before we do that, let's take a look at the race analysis presented by RaceOn. Remember, check out it live or as a subscriber to watch live or check out replays at RaceOn. Here it is, 100 laps the distance, of course, 200 miles, 3 attempts at a green-white checker if need be. And I'm a fan all year of this. No fast repair. If you wreck, you're out. 100% fuel capacity, 3+1 sets of tires. That is the original set plus 3 more available in the pit lane. Let's take a look at the Kaufman Creative weather conditions. Perfect night in virtual Sonoma, California, Jeremy, for a race, man. Look at this.
Yeah, beautiful. Not even 80 degrees on the track surface. That's what I was kind of looking at. Right when it came on live, I said it's going to be grippy because it's nighttime. But turn 2 is proving otherwise, unless these guys are just literally putting their trucks right on edge. But yeah, 78 degrees, beautiful. That wind, though, 8 to 9 mile an hour, maybe even hits double digit at 10. That plays a factor when you're going almost 200 mile an hour entering these corners. So that could be possible why these trucks are getting loose off turn 2. But 78 degrees, man, that is a beautiful, beautiful night here on the West Coast at the Auto Club.
Going to be a fun time for sure, and we're glad that you and yours are joining us here, no doubt about it, as these drivers ready to see if Brian Barnes or Tidrick or Hutchinson qualify to take a lap, and the answer is no. So the field is set. We're ready to introduce the starting lineup for the penultimate race of the season here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. Remember, this racetrack now not even a 2-mile oval anymore. They're actually trying to condense it and make it one day into a half-mile racetrack in the future for NASCAR. Let's take a look. The starting lineup is Dan West Jr. and Paul Newton are on the front row. Row number 1. Row 2 will find Devin West and Sean Breitzman. Row number 3 will find Jeff Stabnow and Brett Johnson, Team LSRTV right there. Row 4, and that'll be my first 4 rows there. Frank Harris in the 77. Roy Grande, Jeremy, will make up the 8th position in the number 11.
The rest of the field here is going to be Tyler King and James Vining in row 5. Row 6 will be Dana Rogers and Christopher White. Row 7 will be Rob Gamble Jr. and Troy Daggett, one of the playoff drivers. And 14th, row 8, Brian Barnes and 4, BJ Tidrick in the 72. And 16th, and Scott Hutchinson, registered last. P17 here today.
So there's the starting lineup. As these drivers will get ready to go for, as we mentioned, 100 laps tonight around the virtual Auto Club Speedway. Of these drivers, again, trying to punch their ticket into the championship for 200 miles. Is a 2-mile racetrack at Auto Club Speedway, and the field is rolling off pit road. A lot of storylines we're going to be watching, but for one thing for sure, it is to see if Jeff Stabnow, Brett Johnson, any of these guys that are on the outside from third on back can possibly get in by virtue of a win, or could they fade away? If you're guys that are on the outside bubble, Jeremy, you do not need to have any mistakes. Perfect pit stops. Don't get penalties. Be there at the end. Be patient, I think, is another thing as well. 100 laps don't seem like a lot, but this is a pretty big racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-mile track. The 100 laps, up front might seem like a decent amount, but when you get in the groove, get in the rhythm here, it might seem a lot shorter than what they expect. Hopefully they got all the practice in. I know we had a couple of drivers join in late into this session, including Jeff Stabnow. Who knows if he was practicing prior or not, but needless to say, these guys got to be ready for 100 laps. That's going to be a grueling race to see who can make it in the Final 4 next week at Homestead.
Remember, if you've got to win, you've pretty much put yourself in contention to be able to have the opportunity to race towards a championship. But if you're one of these guys on the outside looking in, you definitely do not want to have any issues whatsoever as the green flag flies the semifinal round, the final race in the championship round of 8 is underway. 4 drivers will battle for the championship next week at Homestead. We're underway on the back straightaway.
Couple trucks loose already for turn 2. That was going to be the tricky first part there. Let's keep my eye on. Looks like no one wrecked, which is good to see. Now we're still 2 wide, even maybe 3 wide for turn 3 in the back. Single file top 5. Headed off to the start-finish line for the first time here. Dan West Jr. is going to lead the opening lap.
Opening lap will go to the driver of the number 55, a 2-time series champion of the Northwest Racing Series. All right, there you see them. The drivers in neon yellow, they are championship contenders. You can already add, of course, the driver of Devin West to the finale. Remember, he won last week at Texas. Ryan Bloom won Dover, but he is a non-playoff contender. Working off the corner, down to the line. Look at this now, the West family, 1 and 2 on the racetrack there, Stephen. And I'll tell you what, Jeremy, they will battle one another. They will battle side by side, but if it comes down to the end of it, they will fight for the win if they have to, even if it's family, father, son.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Throw the family card out the window. It is go time for the championship. These guys look like they are hooked up right now, but this is a track where you can't direct the tires. If you ruin those things, you're in for a long night, and so make sure you don't use them up too early here. You see a great little pass here from the 27, Paul Newton, trying to pass the 24th stab now. Remember, he has to finish about like 6 or 7 positions ahead of the 24. So it's great to see that Paul Newton's having some good strong runs, but he's got a strong battle with Jeff Staffhouse. He's at the top 5, it looks like, for the next good chunk of this race.
Another solid lap around the racetrack is right now. There's that Dan in the 3rd spot. Looking up high now. Look at a driver really in trouble up against the outside safer barrier. I believe that is the James Vining machine. Obviously, my apologies, Robert Campbell. Robert Campbell in truck 54. He's changed his colors up a little bit, and it's kind of hard to see the number. But that is Robert Campbell up high, battling with Dana Rogers as well as Chris White on the inside out of 2 there.
Scrambling here in 4th position on the back straightaway. Very, very bumpy part of the track. If you're trying to get someone to shove, you might be able to upset the truck. You gotta watch some bumps and time them correctly. 46, Bryceman looking to the inside. Tyler King, he's going to utilize some of the side draft early, pulls down to the shorter part of the track, dead heat up the line. Belongs to Bryceman, P5 for the 46. Has the preferred group in turn number 1. Can Tyler fight back? Does not look like he's going to.
Already got about a handful of laps completed right now as Dan West Jr. now still trying to run down his dad. But look at this now. Battle Jenks for the lead up front. Jeff Stabnow just got around Dan West Jr. Jeff Stabnow to the lead. It's the Team LSRTV bunch. 1, 2, and 3 up against the safer barrier off of turn 4.
Yeah, he's been ripping the top, and it's working for him early on in this race. 6 laps completed at a 100. And he is to the point, and now he's going to drive right in the same lane as the 5 and the 55. Try to take off some of the air off their noses. So Jeff playing a strong game early and with some great strategy on top of it. Jeff is looking very, very stout here tonight.
So Jeff Stabnow up in front. He leads the way. Dan West Jr. now up on the outside. Got kicked back to 2nd. Look at now, Devin West right up under the back end of the tailgate of Daddy West in the 55. Team LSRTV now in a 3-truck trio tandem right there up against the outside wall in turn 1.
Great battle. Uber 55 little loose that time. Looks like he's able to hold on to it still. Nose to tail, top three. Paul Newton lurking in the background, about 6 to 10 truck lengths. Is the 55 all over the back of the 24 here. Gives him a great shove in the turn 3. Gonna move. Dan West up the track just a touch. He gets a little bit of a run. Jeff Stabnow's gonna block the run on the bottom. Another bump there, square to the rear end at the start finish line. Does he make the pass here in the set of corners?
Another solid lap off of 2 down the back straightaway here at the Auto Club Speedway. Another lap on. We continue to see these guys working their way around the racetrack. This, of course, is the Auto Club Speedway. This track no longer in existence, but except in the world of iRacing. But when it was in existence, 2 miles, 3.219 kilometers. It's a 75-foot wide, 15-foot apron for track width. The banking is 14 degrees in turns 1 and 2, where they're taking it right now. 11 degrees of banking on turns 3 and 4. Of course, correction, 14 degrees also in turns 3 and 4. 11 degrees on the front straightaway, 3 degrees on the back stretch. Front straightaway is 3,100 feet long. The back stretch is 2,500 feet long as they work their way now up again. Another 14 degrees of banking into turn number 3 and 4. And watch these guys race. Matter of fact, Jeremy, probably one of the greatest races I ever saw at Auto Club Speedway was the last one in 2023 where Kyle Busch won.
That was a really good race. I was glad to see Kyle Busch pull off a W there with a newer team. That team's not been the greatest, but somehow he's able to up the team and make some victories happen for them. But looking at this battle, I'm loving the battles I'm seeing on the track here. They're not all bunched together, but the trucks that are bunched up are nose to tail, utilizing the draft. Of course, that's just kind of keeping them at bay with one another. But there's still just great amount of lanes being chosen. Playing the strategy, a lot of them are to kind of hang back, let the tires come in a little bit more. You see the inside pass attempt by Brett Johnson over Roy Grande. 2 playoff drivers right here. Brett also can technically make it in, but right now how Jeff Stabnell is running, he's going to need a lot of chips to fall his way to be able to advance to the next round.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of things to fall in place to make that happen, obviously, as we continue to watch these drivers working their way back around the racetrack here at Auto Club Speedway. You mentioned Jeff Stabnow, and obviously he's at the bottom of the barrel. He's the number 4 seed. But if he could win, as by the way, Jeff Stabnow just gave up the lead to Dan West Jr. Dan West Jr., he's in, okay? I think he's going to be in regardless. I think the West family, obviously, father, son, are going to be racing for a championship next week at Homestead. The deciding factor is going to be between Tyler King and obviously Jeff Stabnow. But right now, Jeff Stabnow lost 2 spots. Tyler King gained 2 positions. He was in 5th. He moved up to 3rd to make it to the championship 4 now, semi-final round tonight. And Jeff Stabnow was in 3rd. He fell back to 4th in the number 24. But if these guys can hold their own, don't count out Brett Johnson or even maybe Paul Newton, who are here as well. If they can have a good, strong race, it's going to have to take something happening to the top 3 front runners, I think, Jeremy, for a chance to see Brett Johnson, Paul Newton, or even Troy Daggett get a chance to go to the championship 4, unless they can win. If they can win, you seal the deal.
That is 100% true. Take a look at this strong battle here. All 3 of these guys, playoff contenders. 5 there. Devin West finally going to make the pass up to the inside as he's watching Dan West Jr. just pull away just a little bit. Maybe Jeff utilized too much tire wear early on, but all of a sudden, Devin West on the front straightaway backs it down. He had the momentum to go side by side with Jeff, and then he lost 2 truck lengths before getting to turn number 1. So really slowing up that corner entry apparently, and going to kind of, I guess, ride a little bit longer before actually making that pass.
Yeah, somebody in our CRN chat just said having trouble hearing the other announcer. That's Jeremy Stanley, by the way. And I think we're going to, when we go to network identification and take a commercial break side by side, I think we're going to try to make an adjustment. I really think he's connected to his camera, like his camera mic or another setting. It doesn't sound like it normally does. Hopefully we can get it fixed. And I had that happen a couple of weeks ago when they did an update and it changed all my settings. So we'll work on that behind the scenes. Hopefully we can get a better sound for Jeremy Stanley. We're making the best of it right now as we can. It's not working. 16 of 100 laps is right now Dan West Jr., Jeff Stabdow, Dan West, of course, up in front. It is Team LSRTV, Stabdow, Devin West, defending series champion, as their single file as they work their way back again, Jeremy, off turn 4.
Nose to tail here. Paul Newton, Tyler King heads off into turn number 1, and he is pushing him all the way into the corner entry there. Keeps it directly to the back bumper here. What he might be doing is, hey, I don't want to lose this draft, so I'm going to push you, Paul, all the way around this track if we're going to make time on these leaders. And this is working for us. We're going to continue this trend. See it once more, all the way up against that back bumper till literally inside of turn 3. Releases him momentarily. Clearly the 21's got a little extra speed compared to the 27 at this point. And he's content running behind the back of Newton. This is for 5th and 6th place.
Can you believe it? We're already closing in on lap number 20, believe it or not. I believe my friend Jeremy's going to step away real quickly, so we'll let him make those adjustments as they have decided that we need to fix it up now. So for those in our audience, we apologize for that inconvenience. Obviously, it's just something as simple as a setting or a change of a audio connection or whatever. So once we get Jeremy back in here, I promise you he'll be crystal clear sounds, as the great Mr. Adrian Kronhauer used to say in Good Morning Vietnam. As right now, Devin West trying to run down Jeff Stabdow. That's for the bridesmaid spot. As right now, Dan West Jr. leads the way. That's Team LSRTV. 1, 2, 3. Sean Brightsman also a part of the team, though not a playoff contender in the top 4. Paul Newton, remember we mentioned him, the Paul Newton Designs 27. He's right there in the top 5 with these guys as they work the back straightaway, heading back to turn number 3. Best drivers of the virtual Pacific Northwest, the Northwest Racing Series trucks, the playoffs, the semifinal round. The winner, it could, if they're a playoff driver, go to the championship 4. Joining already, Devin West is there across the line for another lap completed. Getting ready to put lap number 19 on the board. This time by working the 20th lap of the races. There you see Sean Brightsman right there in the 4th position, as there's a couple, about, 7 of the 8 drivers right now in championship playoff semifinal round in the round of 8, right there in the top 8 on the racetrack. Believe it or not, Sean Brightsman is the only driver in 4th position. The other guy way in the back, and there you see him, is Troy Daggett. Troy Daggett, the number 8 driver on the racetrack as far as the playoffs. Daggett is all the way back in 15th. Next to last position, battling, of course, with Scott Hutchinson on Folgers on the inside, 91. And Jeremy, are you back with us, buddy? Do you sound better, my friend?
I'm really hoping so. You tell me.
I mean, I can't really tell from that. Let's just get into commentary. We'll check it again. Right now, again, Dan West Jr. continuing to hit his marks and looking really good. But I was going to say, Jeremy, though, man, Troy Daggett, I don't know if it's strategy why he's hanging back right now, but he's one of the only guys in the 8 drivers that are really, really now about to go to last spot, because Scott Hutchinson's battling him on the inside.
Maybe a little battle here between these two guys off of turn number 4, directly side by side with one another here. You talk about this race being short. We're almost 25% completed in this race. And I feel like we just started this broadcast, so laps are ticking down real quick here. A couple green flag pit stops, and this thing will be all the way completed. And still, I love the battle between the top three. You can even count Brightsman into the picture as they're still side by side. Look at his stab now. And the 55 of Dan West. Nose to tail with the 5 of Devin West trying, but he has to back it down once more. Jeff is being carried, I do believe, by this draft. Look at this, both up to the 4th groove. Trying to make some speed. Brightsman up there as well. They're going to get a great launch off corner exit. And this is where Jeff got the race lead, and this is where he looks to maintain.
Back straight away right now as they work into the corner. Into 3 and 4 as right now Dan West Jr. continuing to lead. Sometime in the opening quarter of this race, as Jeremy just mentioned, we're about to be 1/4 of the way through. West in the lead. We saw Stab now lead some laps. We saw Devin West lead some laps. Team LSRTV running away with it here right now in Auto Club.
Getting a little contact here, bump draft down the straightaway. This is a story we have seen all race long, it looks like, just shoving the guy in front. He launched him greatly in turn 3, and he didn't leave it in turn 4. And still keeps the 3 truck length advantage. Devin West tried to go to the bottom. Could not get a launch there on corner exit. He's going to maintain 3 to 4 truck lengths. Jeff Stab now back to 2 once more. Back to the 4th groove. And I knew we were going to see some outside action here, but to see this many trucks running so strong on the outside lane, this is my kind of race. I love to see. Look at the top of the screen right there. All the back out of the field utilizing that same part of the track too. This is why Auto Club should have not left the schedule and should have not been destroyed. It produces some amazing racing.
Yeah, it surely did. Some great racing action, no doubt, as you just mentioned. We're seeing as we see these drivers working their way back across the start-finish line through the tri-oval, back into turn number 1 and 2. There's that 3-truck tandem of Team LSRTV on the bottom. Then they go to the top. Then they start running their own lanes. But they all somehow, when they hit the back straightaway, end up right there with each other again. It's now Stab now and Devin West battle. Then Stab now gets around Devin. He'll set his sights on Dan West Jr. for the lead as they go into 3.
Taking a look to the inside once more. Not going to make it happen, but Jeff running solo on the top. Does he get a chance to maybe make a pass, or does he stay in file? And that's what he's going to do. Continue to bump the back of Dan West Jr. Gets a nice little separation over the 5, Devin West. He's going to go back to the top. 5 and 55, stay to the bottom. Looks like 3 and 4, a little bit stronger. 46, Brightsman touches the wall a little bit. He's going to drop back a little bit. And here we go. Jeff Stab now to the inside, door to door, nose to nose. Gets him cleared as he gets to turn 3, launches to the bottom. Dan West stays to the 3rd lane. Does he do the cross back over on the front straightaway? It looks like, nope. He's going to give the 24 a shove as he crosses the line here and complete lap number 27.
They gave him plenty of room there just a moment ago, as you just mentioned. Just kind of had some fall off right now as we watch these guys work around the racetrack again. Jeff Stab now back to the lead. He's up on the high side as they work the back straightaway. Clears around Dan West Jr. Devin West. The cat and mouse game continues with Team LSRTV as they're again 1, 2, and 3, approaching lap number 30, almost 3 wide. If they're brave enough, they can get there, but they won't. Stab now with the preferred lineup against the outside safer barrier off of turn 4.
And right now, even if it's not the best line, it might be the most defensive line to use to keep the drivers at bay on the straightaways here. Taking a look back a little bit through the field, here's number 11, Rory Grande Jr. One of the playoff drivers who does not look like he's going to be able to transfer in based on position, just too far out in points. But we'll see what that final number looks like as we complete the remaining 72 laps in this race. Looking to the inside now, the 77, Mr. Harris, as I think he might have made some contact with the outside wall. Goes to turn 3. Looks like the 77 is going to recover nicely on the outside. And Roy Grande Jr. falls back in line.
Look at this great battle going on now as, of course, it looks like the excitement watching between the 77 truck. This, of course, is Harris. Green and yellow 77 cheering on the #1 seed in the college football playoff, Oregon Ducks. Right now, they're the #1 seed going into the 12-team playoff during the Christmas New Year's is what it looks like. Oregon Ducks looking good. And of course, that's the Northwest team. He's showing those colors proudly. Of course, that is our buddy, Mr. Frank Harris. And we go back up front to the leaders again on lap number 30. It is Stab now, West, King, Johnson, top 5, and that's the way they stand, single file to the back straightaway. And we also see now Jeremy Stanley, green flag pit stops. His drivers are coming down pit road, including Roy Grande and BJ Tidring.
Yeah, first two to open this thing up on lap 31, so 30 laps green flag, and it looks like they're going to pit for their one of potentially only 2 stops, maybe 3. Not sure exactly where that fuel window looks. If it is at 30, they're going to have to pit with around 10 laps to go. Or maybe they're doing a little shortcut action to find some speed early on. Want to pay attention to who else comes down pit road. Does not look like anybody else will at this time by. We'll kick it back over to number 7, Brett Johnson. Looking on the inside of Tyler King in the 21. Sean Breisman pushing the 7 down the back straightaway. Tries to help him get door to door with the 21. 21 and the 46 might be utilizing the preferred lane here. Makes a great effort, but still, 21's going to hold that spot. Oh, here we go. 3 trucks on pit road. All your leaders.
Yeah, I had a feeling these guys would be coming down to the pit lane, and that's exactly what they're doing as pit stops are taking place now. Here comes all of the West and Stab down LSRTV trio on the pit lane. They're making pit stops as now Brett Johnson, another member of Team LSRTV, will come down to the pit lane, or at least he'll pit when he does. Tyler King just got back around Johnson for the lead. Right now, 9 trucks have not pitted yet. Everyone else has made pit stops here, and right now, it looks like Team LSRTV right now in a trio coming in on pit road, entering pit road, exiting pit road with each other. Jeff Stab now a little slow getting out. He hasn't left yet.
Uh-oh, that's not good now. Trying to get into this race next week. Can't have any faults on pit road. Keep up to date on that. See how much he falls back as we got 3 more trucks on pit road here. Oh, the 07 perpendicular to the pit stall. You don't want to see that. Struggles to get back between these two. And 27 Paul Newton, he's going to do exactly what you're supposed to do. As 07 is still trying to make pit road. I think, yep, he finally got it jacked up there. That took about 10 seconds.
Boy, how many people miss Auto Club Speedway and the racing that it provided back in the real world. Again, as we mentioned, the race that Kyle Busch won back in February of 2023. Literally, that was the last time they raced on a track of this size. Auto Club Speedway now going through major renovations and construction. They're trying to possibly turn it into a half-mile racing facility, as that's what the plan is. And then, of course, then in the summer of 2023, construction got halted. Then they finally got started back up again in 2024, about June or July. And now the question is when will NASCAR Will they ever return back to the half-mile track that will be Auto Club Speedway? And another devastating dagger in the world of California racing news was announced the other week ago that Irwindale Speedway, and Jeremy, that's a track that I announced at a time or two with NASCAR for the NASCAR Toyota All-Star Showdown race back in the day. That track is shutting down after close to 30 years of operation. So not only did they lose Auto Club, they lost Irwindale, but fret not, because both of these are on iRacing. You can make some iRacing memories.
In iRacing, you have figure eight with a jump in the middle. Without it, you can run the inner, the outer, or both the inner outer together on Irwindale. I have no idea why Irwindale has not had the turnout it needs to. Maybe it's just because it's located in California. That's the only reason I can think of. That track is so versatile. It's kind of like Auto Club. You can run the top, you can run the bottom, you can run below the white line on the apron. There's just so many options there. It really baffles me why they've always struggled to maintain attendance. It has to be California. If you put that track on the East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever, Virginia, I think you're going to have a much better chance, rather, at success at that kind of venue.
It literally puzzles me as well. I'll be honest with you, man. I cannot figure it out either. Like, you would literally think, okay, we're going to have an amazing races, amazing turnout, and it just hasn't happened. By the way, we are past the top of the hour. We'll also go side by side for TV commercial break on LSRTV. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio and network identification on CRN, the Northwest Racing Series playoffs.
I don't know if I've ever had that much fun in a race car ever. 30 times so far, and I think this is my third or fourth race of the year.
During that race, I'm glad I had some asphalt experience. That's kind of what we had to do back then, get in there and kind of root them off the bottom.
You know, when you race long enough, you kind of tell when you got a good hot rod, and I knew we were pretty good.
My uncle, he just got a new car in Jeremy. He raced his first night last weekend at Manny, and I think he's going to Super B tomorrow night.
Welcome to Day Motorsports. Come on, let's check out what we got.
Thank you for keeping Day Motorsports in business for over 50 years.
We say that this is the original Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship. 52 years for one race, and really for one racetrack to stand the test of time is pretty damn cool, if you ask me.
Race On will be streaming the Tom Series exclusively next year, so we're excited for that opportunity.
And I'm just kind of interested to kind of see what the car counts are going to be like this weekend, and really what the fan counts may be like.
If we were to stop streaming that event, you were not coming anyway. You were still going to have your pizza party. You were just going to watch something else on television.
If you're running factory stocks first, limited to P-Bonds, like those are your top three premier. Those are the fastest classes, if you will. And I think those are probably the most popular amongst the fans, let's just be honest.
Come on.
It's got to be 12 o'clock. Right, so that means it's beer time.
Get around, people, but they like a sideshow about the dinosaur here.
This is one hell of a roll cage.
Come 9,000 miles to wreck each other.
Now, I don't have Hobo Stab insurance. Funny idea at first that somehow we're sitting here in Australia with a couple of wrecked race cars, drinking beer and laughing about it.
Like this?
Are they edibles? I think I f***ed up.
Just about ready to approach lap number 42 of this race. And Jeremy Stanley, you sound better than ever. Welcome back.
No, I finally learned how to control the volume on this thing and how to manage the settings. Holy cow, what a difference.
What a difference you sound like, right? I mean, yeah.
No longer
He's
talking
like,
out of that Folgers can that came off the back of a Honda.
You know? Yes, exactly right. I love that you said the quote to come out of the back of a Honda.
5 extra horsepower, baby.
Well, this has been a fairly quiet race, though, Jeremy. It's been a quiet race. There's been no issues whatsoever, and we've, of course, seen the sheer dominance by Team LSRTV. But now we're seeing some new names up into the front besides Dan West Jr. and Devin West. Tyler King is up in that battle, and, of course, he's one of those guys that are right there in the championship 4.
Stab now dropped like a rock. He's 4.5 back. We're looking at Breitzman here, who's less than a second all of a sudden away from the number 24. This will be a battle for 4th place once they get to one another here. And I'm kind of curious to see. We saw the pit road open on lap 30 into 31, and then it took about 5 laps to get everybody else on pit road. So can they make it on 2 stops? It's going to be a really tough stretch. They possibly can do it. It looks like we're going to go green the whole way, unless we got broadcasters cursing here as the Ford looking down to the inside of the number 11. That's Brian Barnes passing Roy Grande Jr. A battle for 9th and 10th place on track. These guys are 14 seconds away from the race lead, but still, nonetheless, pretty good, strong 3-truck battle here.
Yeah, really good, strong run for these guys as they work their way back around the racetrack to put another lap on the board. There, of course, goes Roy Grande up against the outside safer barrier. He'll battle, of course, with Barnes, Brian Barnes. This is for the top 10 as we're closing in on the cross flags of this race. Welcome back to our coverage of iRacing on LSRTV and on CRN, the Community Radio Network. Again, Devin West won last week in Texas. We were not able to bring that broadcast to you because of technical difficulties, because of weather. But nonetheless, when it all happened, Devin West, we know, is going to the championship finale. He's got 7 wins this year. Dan West Jr., his father, with 4 wins, the most of anybody this year, is the West family, Jeremy. And you would say that it's going to be father and son that they're going to battle for the championship. But no doubt, now you got Tyler King, who's 3rd in the points, 3rd on the racetrack. Sean Breitzman's now moved up to 4th. Jeff Stab now, as we mentioned, who's 4th in the point standings, has fell back to 5th. And he's losing ground on the leaders now, almost 5 seconds back in the 24.
Yep, it's exactly that. And the 24 just continues to drop. It's now looking at 5 seconds almost back from the race leaders. West and West up front. They got a nice 2.5 second lead now over the 21, Tyler King, who has crawled his way into the top 3. We got 1 truck on pit road, Troy Daggett in the 99.
Daggett? That's Troy Daggett. Wow, he's way off sequence with everybody else.
Yeah.
This is his actually second time pitting.
Yep.
Yeah,
It only
what
took
in the world?
20 laps this time, so yeah, I don't know. We don't know what the fuel mileage looks like, so this could be just a weird strategy. But at the same token, you've seen so much drafting here. To pit by yourself, it's kind of a risky business all by itself.
Yeah, it certainly is as we're watching this again. All of these drivers making pit stops.
Seven to 27 here, going through 1 and 2. It's a battle for 6th and 7th place on track right now. These guys are about 7 seconds shy. of your race leaders. Speaking of your race leaders, Dan West, Devin West. 1-2 right now. Dan to the bottom, Devin to the top. He's going to lose about 2 truck lengths to the center of the corner, but he's going to get that all back and maybe then some as they get to turn 1. It's the beautiful thing about this track. He's to the back bumper now. Looks like he's going to continue just to push the 55, which is also a great strategy. Run the top for the second truck. Give the boost down the back and front straightaway, and this is ultimately making their lap time better.
Father and son going at it, obviously. There you see it. Dan West Jr. getting back around Devin. Devin right there behind Dad. They're both champions. Devin West won his first Truck Series championship last year, trying to defend the crown. And obviously, Dan West Jr. was the 2020 and 2021 Series champion of the Northwest Racing Series trucks. Can we just say that it's been a while since Dan West Jr. has hoisted the cup, and he wants to get back up to the top of his throne, if you will.
Definitely looking to do so. This is going to be a great battle next week at Homestead. Again, another track that's multi-grooved, can do what you want with it, driver preference all the way through and through. So this might be a little precursor to see who likes to run the top, who likes to run the bottom, and what the teamwork looks like. And according right now, the 5 and the 55 have the best case scenario. Usually that is in the second truck to catch the first one, bump draft them in the middle of the straightaway. You don't have the long straightaways at Homestead though. It's a half mile less, and the straightaways are a lot less lengthy. So that might be a little bit of difference there, but none to say. This is kind of proven who's the best guy out here right now. Speaking of which, this is not a Joey Logano race. You got 7 of your top 8 all in the playoff contention, so at least the best of the best have been up there.
Yeah, going to be really exciting and fun to see what these drivers do. And obviously, again, the battle between father and son continues. By the way, we're halfway through the race, or at least a couple of laps after the halfway mark of this event here for 200 miles. We've already knocked off 100 miles, 104 miles, if you will, here at Auto Club. And again, there's the race summary, 8 lead changes. The race has been really good. It's not been a snooze fest, if you will, Jeremy. We've seen great racing and passing up in the front, but there's just been no, caution flags or anything of that sort right now.
Yeah, no, pretty clean stuff. And, these guys that are wanting to make the championship, they're loving to see it. Not every race needs to be eventful, and Auto Club, it's one of those tracks where, like, if you love the game of golf, you love to watch golf. If you hate the game of golf, you think it's the most boring thing on TV imaginable. And this is where Auto Club kind of fits into that scheme for me personally. Like watching the strategies, watching the high line versus the low line, seeing how these drivers enter the corner. That alone is enough to entertain me. But outside of that, if you just have a generalized scope of what's going on, you're just like, okay, this is a very laid back, not eventful race, but I'm seeing the things that some people wouldn't, and it continues to excite me here.
By the way, I want to say thanks again to our veterans on this Veterans Day Monday. Thankful to you all for your service and for the men and women that have allowed us to have the freedoms that we enjoy. Proud to be an American. Last Tuesday, I think, was a great day for America. And, of course, thanks to our military, it allows us to continue to have a great America. I'm Wesley Outland, Jeremy Stanley alongside Charles Wooten. on production direction. We are the broadcast crew for the Northwest Racing Series Truck Playoffs, the semifinals. Cannot believe, Jeremy, how fast the seasons flew by. I know you popped in right before the end of the summer, before the playoffs begin, but man, we've enjoyed having you along for the ride. And here comes now a second dose of green flag pit stops. Scott Hutchinson will now come in for the second time in the 91.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. It's been fun for the past few months since I've been able to come back into here full time. I know I tinkered in a couple of times here and there, but I know we temporarily have dropped Jason and I've
Scott Hutchinson. Speaking of Taco Bell, that's what I'll be having tonight when I get off the air with you guys. I already got my DoorDash ordered. Little Doritos Locos Tacos at 1 o'clock in the morning.
they call that fourth meal, sir, at Taco Bell, so that fits right in par.
Yeah, there you go.
Advertise for it.
That's very true. Anyhow, yeah, I'll have a little Taco Bell before I go to bed tonight. I wish I had a Whataburger. You know, Charles, I know you got one where you live. I wish I had a Whataburger. They're supposedly building a Whataburger in the Carolinas, but I don't know when they're actually going to officially open it up. They're building it. Yes, Whataburger coming to North Carolina. Yes, sir. I will drive to damn Raleigh to get me some food. I can promise you that. And there's actually another one going to be built in Jacksonville, too. There was one being built in Jacksonville. Oh, that is so mean.
Wow.
We're not friends anymore. I can't believe
Hear that.
Well, let's just say this. Whataburger, I think, is finally starting to get built in the Charlotte area, like the western part of North Carolina, at, Concord, Mooresville, Whiteville. And I'm hoping that, that some more places open up for sure, definitely.
Whataburger is my favorite fast food, but thankfully
have you ate there before, Jeremy?
They used to be 45 minutes from me in Melbourne here on the Space Coast of Florida, right up against the Atlantic.
Oh, yeah.
But they all closed down. So my next closest one is like Tallahassee, which is way outside my range, and it's a damn shame. But that's my favorite burger joint.
Heck yeah, man. I got introduced to Whataburger whenever I was announcing races. I think I was in Arkansas and Oklahoma. I think it was that, or Texas, somewhere around there. Arklatex Speedway, I think is where I went. I went to Arklatex Speedway, and I went to another track that was like right at the, oh my God, I can't think of the name of the track anymore. It might not even be open anymore. But there was a racetrack that's like literally at the Arkansas-Texas border. And I announced a race there, and we stopped and got Whataburger late at night, and oh man, it was delicious. Yes, so I can't think of the name of it, unless it's I-67 Speedway now, and it was another name of it before. That's all I can think of. Let me look it up. Arkansas dirt tracks.
That's a shame I can't have. We got a couple more.
No, it wasn't Boot Hill Speedway. No, it wasn't that. There's a lot more tracks in Texas, Arkansas too. Crawford County Speedway, was it that one maybe? People don't realize how big these tracks are.
Guys.
Would you say you're not hungry?
I said we're not hungry, are we?
Okay, so it was Texarkana. It was Texarkana 67 Speedway is what it was, because it's right at the Texas-Arkansas line, so it's the name of that track now. But it used to be another name. There used to be another name for it. No. Diamond Park Speedway is what it used to be called. Diamond Park Speedway. I am revealing my age. I'm sorry. I told you. It is Diamond Park Speedway. It's literally like, yeah, it's right there near the Texas-Arkansas border. It's in the Arklatex region off of Highway 67. So that has to be what the track is now. Yeah. Holy cow! I'm unveiling how old I am, Jeremy.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. So I have no idea where this location. Oh, we got pit road here, 555 down pit road. But yeah, no,
this
I
is the
have
money
no
stop,
idea about
too.
that area. So,
Oh, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I will just tell you that much. It is out in the boonies, and if Charles knows what I'm talking about or ever been there, he will tell you it's out in yeah.
Yeah, Big 10-4 on that one.
Money stop,
Still
guys. We're on
plowing
pit
in.
road.
Yeah, 34 laps to go. Pit road's busy right now. We got 5 trucks currently in there, including your 2 race leaders. Sean Breitzman leads the last lap, just virtue of pit road cycle. Jeff Stabnell pitted about 3 laps prior. I know,
Money
Christopher
stop,
White, Roy
drivers
Gamble.
pitting.
Yep. Just 2 out right now, 3rd one out. So pit road is going to be empty momentarily until Breitzman, Tyler King, Paul Newton, Brian Barnes, Frank Harris, your top 5 are the only 5 left to come down pit road to complete the cycle. Almost contact. Oh, speaking of contact, 07 cutting the grass. Dana Rogers in that Don't You Wanna Fanta truck.
Fanta,
Don't
Fanta,
you not
don't
wanna
you
cut
wanna,
the
wanna, Fanta, don't you wanna? You think I knew that song, did you?
Yeah,
Jeremy?
there you go. Don't you not want to cut the grass? Don't you want to?
Hey, by the way, Charles, Diamond Park Speedway is still open, believe it or not. They're getting ready for the 21st annual Turkey Nationals, and that'll be, of course, on November the 29th and 30th. So happy Turkey Murder Day. I mean, it's still open. The track is still known as Diamond Park Speedway. So it's actually not 67 Speedway Texarkana. It's still Diamond Park Speedway, and it's located off of Arkansas 27. I mean, it's literally right at the Texas line. Like, it's in Arkansas, but it's literally 10 miles to the Texas border. Anyhow, back no, it's an awesome place. Come on, shut up. Don't be like that. Nice. McCullough. Yes. Tim Crawley, awesome guy. The Craw Daddy. Does he race sprint cars anymore still? The Craw Daddy? I announced many races. Yeah, I announced many races whenever he raced sprint cars. The Craw Daddy, number 88. Wasn't he the one that was going to be running, what was it, the track that's, oh my goodness, what track was it? It shut down. It's on Arkansas, I-30 Speedway, that's it. And then it shut down, right? And then he got 2067. Yeah. The home of the Short Track Nationals is where I-30 Speedway used to be. First time I ever met Brian Holbert and Ben Shelton, we worked a race together, was at I-30. Oh, the Short Track of Nationals will be on Race On? Really awesome to see Race On getting a lot of exposure lately. All right, guys, we're just rambling because there really ain't a damn thing going on the racetrack. We're closing in on 30 laps to go. And Sean Breitzman is still the leader. Not anymore. He pits, and here comes now that 3-truck tandem. Shades of how it started in the race beginning, Jeremy. They're going to fight it out for the finish, it looks like. West and Stab now. Sounds like a law firm, but that's exactly what's going on for the finish at Auto Club.
And Stab now has the worst set of tires out of this 3 bunch right here. Keeping them at bay is the draft, playing a crucial part. But he's also worked his way up here. He had a fight to get back to the tail end of the 55 of Dan West Jr. As we're on the front straightaway now, lose a little bit of ground as the 5 and 55 chase each other, trying to get draft where they can, but also break it from the 24. And then so they're going to play that game for just a little bit here as we're just a couple laps away from 3/4 completed in this 100 lap event. Fonta truck out of the way. Dana Rogers to the inside. Lets the top 3 have at it. Brett Johnson 4th place, all by himself, 3 seconds back.
A very clean race. Let's take a look again at the Virginia811.com race summary. 10 lead changes, and a lot of these lead changes have happened amongst these 3 trucks of West, and Stab now. Not to mention green flag pit stops shuffled the lead. 10 lead changes. So surprised though, Jeremy, 0 cautions, 0 caution laps tonight for this race. It's been flag to flag.
Just a straight battle of nutrition. Who's got the best truck? Who's got the best strategy? When'd you pit? When'd you not to pit? And right now, even though Jeff has had some really strong runs throughout this race, Edge has been a clean sweep for this team that you're looking at right now. LSRTV's Devin West, Dan West Jr. Really strong competitive trucks here. Brett Johnson's been doing pretty good. He's up 2 spots from his qualifying effort. Just kind of not in the same realm as the top 3, but nonetheless, he's had to make some interesting passes so far tonight. And so, you know, just doing what he can, but those top 3 are definitely in their own zip code of their own.
Here's something to think about, by the way. The green flag failed less than an hour ago. 53 minutes. 53 and a half minutes of race time, and that's all it's been here. Flag to flag for this race tonight at Auto Club Speedway as we're closing in on the final quarter of this race. We're 3/4 down, 25 laps to go, and then again, this will be the run for the money. As right now, we see these drivers perfectly working around the racetrack, and it's again Dan West Jr. trying to run down son Devin West. Devin West won Texas, the last race in the round of 8 semifinal. By the way, Tyler King, or was it Ryan Bloom actually? Correction, Ryan Bloom, a non-playoff driver. He won the opening race in the round of 8. But looks like right now, Jeremy, all eyes are going to be watching Devin West, Dan West Jr., Jeff Stab now, and man, I'd even be surprised if maybe Tyler King might be that needs to get to the whip, because if he doesn't get up there, Brett Johnson might possibly steal the number 4 spot, and it would be all team LSRTV drivers for the Championship 4 finale at Homestead next week, and it could happen, Jeremy.
The chance is there. The chance is definitely there. As we got more trucks on pit road, BJ Tidrick and Scott Hutcherson. That's the 72 and 91 for their final, well, definitely his final pit stop. That was BJ. Looks like he was done for this evening. So make that 3 trucks out. And then a little bit of space separation here from the 5 and 55. Not used to seeing this from being nose to tail. Looks like Dan West has the upper hand here, which as you get later onto this run, the last 10, 15 laps, they've worked so well together, but you don't want to be in that predicament because anything could happen. So now's the time to get that separation again.
Dan West Jr. up in front. He leads the way. Shootout time for the finish of this one. Right now it has been the 55, the 5 and the 24. Here's something to think about. Johnson right there, you see him. He's got help with Sean Breitzman. Tyler King 2 spots out of them. Tyler King is 2 spots behind the 7. And look at Breitzman. Breitzman says Johnson have at him. Now Breitzman's going to battle back on the inside. Here's the thing, Jeremy. They might be teammates. They might be teammates, but make no mistake about it. They will race each other hard. Even father-son West will.
It's the only correct answer is to race me just like you would any other person in here that's for competition. Don't need to tank it like you're at Martinsville in the Cup Series and just walk William Byron into the Final Four. So have at it, go 100%. You're going to finish 1 or 2, it does not matter. And either way, you're still locked into the Final Four. So have some fun with it. Troy Daggett back on pit road again in the 99. He's been on pit road for quite a few times now.
Drivers coming down pit road for the money stop, and it rolls on here. We've seen those drivers pit, is what I meant to say. Other guys in the back are out of sequence, and that's other drivers that are not in contention. And I hate to say it, but a guy like Roy Grande, Troy Daggett, what might have been for them, but right now it looks like their championship dash is about to come to an end here in the semifinal round. They just cannot reach the Final Four.
They've done what they could behind the wheel. Just the setup that they brought tonight, not in favor in comparison to the guys in front of them right now. Dan West pulling away a little bit. Breitzman, you see him on your screen. He is 3rd place at the moment. Strong return here. Back into the top 3 for the 46. 2.5 seconds outside of the 5 and the 55. Looking at now 4th and 5th place. Stab now on the center of your screen. Brett Johnson, playoff driver as well, looking to the inside. It's caught Jeff temporarily here. 18.5 laps to go.
There you see Stab now. He's back now to 4th position as Sean Breitzman got in front of him. Stab now and Johnson. That's the 4th and 5th spot on the racetrack. Tyler King, by the way, right behind them.
$17 laps to go. Great battle on track right here. I think it's the only real battle on the track at the moment. Dead heat. Look at the 7 giving Jeff a ton of room. Brett could have easily moved up the track, got the side draft, competed with him down the back straightaway, but such an early X right to the bottom of the track like it's Daytona, and it cost him some speed. You can see that gap now back to 3+ truck lengths behind the 24 exiting turn number 4. As we have almost 15 laps to go in this race.
Racing on to the finish. 15 remaining when they come to the line. Hey, don't forget the Community Radio Network has you covered of not only the playoffs with soccer, state championship soccer. Football begins Friday night against, of course, the Corinth Holders Pirates. We played them. We beat them in the regular season 49-0. We're going to be playing them again in the playoffs for the first round. And in addition to that, we'll also have coverage on the Community Radio Network of the NASCAR Battle of the Stars. The best NASCAR advanced auto parts, late model stock car drivers in the land will take on Goodyear's Playground of Power, the New River All-American Speedway, and that, of course, will be for $10,000 to win. Pro late models for $5,000 to win, and much more. The Battle Friday, will be on Friday night. And then, of course, Saturday will be the Battle of the Stars. We'll have it for you on the Community Radio Network, as we always will cover you next Monday night, the championship finale for the Northwest Racing Series. As the laps wind down, Dan West Jr. up in front, but Jeremy, the 5 is lingering and reeling him in quicker and quicker down the back straightaway, and so is the 46 of Sean Breitzman.
Breitzman with 5-lap fresher tires, and it is paying huge for Sean. Just that back straightaway alone, he gained 2 more tenths. He was at 1 second, now he's 0.7 at the front stretch here. 2 more laps. And this 46 will be competing for the race lead. I did not see that in our bingo card. He had the long run speed deleted on the first part of this race. And I thought 5 and a 55, maybe with the 24, were untouchable, but that 5 lap later pit stop is really just bringing Sean into this picture, and he does not have to pit anymore. The fuel window may be a little bit stretched for the 5 and 55, but they should be good to go. But the 46 definitely locked in, and he's here under 4/10 of a second. Next lap, he's going to be on their bumper.
Yeah, there is time running out. Shades of the hourglass running short, if you will. If you're going to make a run, you better do it, and you better do it now. As right now we see these drivers working their way down the back stretch, heading to the turn 3 area. Man, we mentioned precision banking. We mentioned racetracks that have 3, 4, 5 lanes wide. We saw it get 3 wide earlier, even amongst these front runners. Other than that, it's been a very, very quiet night. No cautions whatsoever. Nobody being greedy, if you will, Jeremy, right? I mean, it's like they're just accepting what it is. And I say that in no disrespect, but it feels like that's exactly what's going down. Nobody has been able to contend or challenge with the Team LSRTV drivers tonight, much less, it seems like, in the semifinal round at that.
Yeah, they've just been putting on that Penske performance in the playoffs and been putting down some awesome races in the playoffs here. And 46 is here, by the way. We're going to be at 10 laps to go as soon as they cross the line. It's going to be 20 miles left in this race. Breitzman's going to push the number 5, Mr. Devin West, down the front straightaway. Now he's just waiting his time here. He's going to go to the inside. Everybody else on the outside. Great stuff from the 46. Look at that. 5 laps, newer tires, and just still cannot get it on corner exit. He's going to have to take either a strong run on entry or going to run a higher lane than these 2 guys in front of him.
10 laps to go. We will be in single digits when they come back to the line. Question is, does anybody got anything for the West-West trucks up in front? Sean Breitzman, teammate to them, thinks he does. He's trying to make a run on the bottom and go after him.
He's looking. He wants it. But he also knows he has time. So as the driver of the 5, Devin West, recognizes it's go time. He's trying to pass Dan West. Looks like he might get him this time off of turn 4. Clears him. Crossover. They're going to do this in front of Sean, which is going to hold Sean up from making any type of pass effort. He needs to find a different line. Maybe run the very top of the track. 3 and 4. Well, they're not running it as high as they are 1 and 2. Up to the 5th lane. Breitzman trying the 2nd lane, slides up. Best chance right here. Get the side draft. Stay door to door with the number 5 here. Give yourself a great chance to turn 3 and 4. He's there. Let's see if he can make it stick this time. 5, a little bit defensive maneuver. And he's going to have 2nd place here coming off on the backstretch.
Time running out. Anybody got anything for these drivers? They better show it. They better show it now. But it just seems like they're all in a stalemate around the racetrack right now. Look at now, Brightsman trying to battle along with Devin West and Dan West. 7, now make it 6 to go. Here comes Devin. He wants to go 2 out of 3 for the championship semifinal round. He's looking to battle his dad as they're side by side. Brightsman watches along with 6 to go at the line.
Slight contact to the outside wall, goes the 46. He needs to now run the very top of this track. Just like this, he needs the momentum to make the pass. The inside is not working. He's using up too much tire wear, not to his advantage. He needs to go to the top and do what he can do here. Gets a great run off at this corner, looks to the inside maybe. If he does it next time, he's going to have a strong chance to 5 into 55, though, still side by side. Also helping the 46 here. He goes back to the bottom, surprisingly, behind the 5. Oh, check up. Does he go to the inside? No, he's going to stay in tow once more. Yeah, he could have made a pass effort, but decided, hey, I need to do at least one more lap of thinking of how to get this job done.
Now remember, Jeremy, Devin West has got to win. Dan West Jr. does not. Now, I mentioned he could probably get in by virtue of points, but Dan West Jr., if he wins this race, he does punch the ticket in and joins his son for the championship finale. But look at Sean Brightsman, and as we mentioned earlier, as they come to the line with, 8 miles remaining, 4 to go, they might be teammates, but they're damn sure not going to race like that for the finish of this race. They want to win every single one of them out there.
Yeah, they were teammates for 95 laps. Now it's go time. Not much time left to defend each other. The 46 cannot make the pass, though. They're doing great. Dan and Devin are by running the top, taking away the preferred lane that Sean needs in that Toyota Tundra. But he's got to get creative, man. They are holding him up. All these lane options, but he still can't find the fastest one. So he's going to have 3 to go at the line.
Better go, you better go now, because time is running out. Now make it 3 laps to go. We're 3 wide for the lead. Up high, the West family. Brightsman on the bottom. Sean Brightsman looking for the lead on the bottom into turn 1 and 2, and they're not done yet. We're going to be right there, stride for stride with West off 2.
Makes it happen with the crossover. They go back to the inside. 55, Dan West Jr. had a check up on corner exit turn 4, which allowed Sean to get to the position he's in. He's going to try to do the crossover once more with the 55. Looks like it will. Devin West not be able to get to the 46, but back to the 55 he goes to utilize the drafting effect. Can Sean Reed cross over in 1 and 2?
Got a big opportunity if he can get there. Just not able to pull the trigger just yet. Penultimate lap of the race for the penultimate race of the season. The championship will be decided next week for the championship 4. Right now, Dan West Jr. trying to hold off son Devin and teammate Sean Brightsman as they dive into turn number 3. Devin West looks low. He's on the inside, battles with his father. Black traffic up ahead. White flag, CRN 1 to go. Final time around here at Auto Club. Jeremy in the 1.
I have no idea who's going to win this race. It is a coin toss. Red versus blue. Sean Brightsman making one last effort on the very tip top of the track. This is not going to be enough. This is becoming a who's going to do what in the final set of corners here. Some blocking between the 5 and the 55 heading up into turn 3. Side by side for the final time.
Lap traffic, Dana Rogers, the Phantom Machine, scampers out of the way, lets them have at it. Sean Brightsman loses ground to the father-son duo. Here they come to the line. Dan West Jr. up high. Got a push from Brightsman. Devin West down low. Checkered flag is going to give it to Dan West Jr. over Sean Brightsman, believe it or not. Listen to this. Double zero digits at the line for second and third between Sean Brightsman and Devin West. Wow.
Down to the second decimal to find 14 100ths versus 15 100ths. Such a very, very close finish there for second and third. Exciting finish to this race. There was a lot of low points, but there was a lot of highlights to be taken from this, especially the final 10 laps rather. Job well done for the 55 Dan West of picking up the W tonight.
Let the celebration begin. It will, obviously, for the West family, for Dan West Jr. He will pick up the win. Dan West Jr. will be going to the championship finale. He will battle his son, Devin West. We know that those drivers are obviously with wins in the semifinal round of the round of 8. They're going to battle father, son. Who will be the last two? I'm thinking unofficially, I'm thinking Tyler King and Jeff Stabnow. That's just my take of it, possibly, Jeremy.
As the high five salute here. Truck's getting just pummeled. He got so much speed to carry at Auto Club to destroy everyone on the front straightaway. Still piling in all the way from the infield. Love to see it there. Love the action. And they're giving them all the love. Got them jacked up, rear tires off the ground, trying to flip them over. Do they get it done? No, not that time.
Let the celebration begin, shall we, for the West family. Look at the results as the Northwest high five salute on goes here at Auto Club Speedway. Devin West won last week at Texas. Ryan Bloom won the opening race in the round of 8 semifinal round. And now tonight, Dan West Jr. picks up his, by the way, 5th win of the season, joining his son Devin with 7 wins. We know that those two drivers will be battling for the championship next week at Homestead. Who will the other two be? That's the question right now. Again, I'm thinking by virtue of points, it's probably going to be Tyler King and Jeff Stabnow. Brett Johnson might sneak in. We'll check it out. Here's the results of tonight's race. We got to see how it all fans down by points and position. And how damn close is this, Jeremy? We mentioned Tyler King, Brett Johnson, those drivers, Jeff Stabnow. Did Jeff Stabnow's 6th place finish take him out of contention? That is the million-dollar question. Could we see Tyler King or Brett Johnson sneak in to the championship 4? Dan West Jr., Sean Brightsman, they're 1 and 2 in the race. Devin West 3rd. Tyler King is 4th. Brett Johnson 5th. Jeff Stabnow, Paul Newton, Frank Harris right now, the first 8 finishers when it's all said and done at Auto Club. Oh, and by the way, flag to flag, caution free.
Here's the remaining rundown here. 9th place, Christopher White. 10th place, you're going to find Brian Barnes here. And then 11th through 20th. We got Robert Gamble Jr., Dana Rogers, Troy Daggett, B.Day Chidrick, Scott Hutchison, Roy Grande, and James Vining round out the whole field here. 17 entries, I think 3 disconnects. And that's the final results here for tonight's race.
And I keep intently hitting the refresh button to find out who will be the drivers that are in. The results are in. We'll tell you who they are when we come back and we grab the podium next from Auto Club Speedway. This is the Northwest Racing Series playoffs on LSRTV and CRN. Welcome back to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV. So we're going to kind of change it up a little bit tonight than what we normally do. Obviously, we'll grab these drivers that finish in the race. And in addition to that, we'll talk to the guys that are in the championship 4. I will let you know that it has officially been tabulated. And right now, Devin West, Dan West Jr., Tyler King, and Jeff Stabnow will be the championship 4 drivers to battle next Monday night for the final race for the season championship at Homestead Miami Speedway. It should be a barn burner classic. All the other drivers will go at it racing amongst themselves. We hope that you can join us next Monday night. Let's go to Victory Lane, and we'll grab Dan West Jr. Amongst grabbing them drivers, we'll grab some other drivers that are in the championship 4 as well. Dan West Jr., what does it mean to now look for your 3rd Northwest Championship? Last time you won the title was in 2021, I believe it was. And, amongst Team LSRTV has got to be pretty special.
Oh, definitely. It's been way too long to be back at the championship, but from my opinion, it's nice to make that top 4. I definitely have a tough group to run against, so we'll see how it goes.
An excellent strategy out there tonight, too, to kind of hold that spot on the track and ultimately get the checkered flag. Turning our attention to Homestead next week. Very similar track when it comes to multi-groove racing. Was this kind of a little bit of a precursor to what we're going to see next week?
I think so. I mean, the Auto Club kind of leads itself to, just good pack racing. You got 3-4 grooves out there, and so I'm hoping that Homestead kind of brings us to that too. I mean, tonight it's nice to win the race, but it was just a lot of fun.
I'm getting tongue-tied. Flag to flag, caution-free, obviously. But I got to ask you, man, what was it like to battle with your son, Devin, defending series champion, might I add, Sean Brightsman, Jeff Stabnow, Team LSRTV, the great racing you guys have put on this year. And, of course, it's coming down to the wire where it looks like it could be literally you and father and son fighting for the championship. And in as I say that, other Team LSRTV teammate Jeff Stabnow as well. He gets into that last spot for 4th. But is Team LSRTV going to be what type of race do you think we'll see next Monday night, Dan?
I think you'll see a lot of what you've seen tonight, but you still got that sleeper Tyler King. I mean, Tyler knows how to save tires, and he always is there at the end. So, there's 3 TVs in there, so obviously we have a pretty good chance at it. But Tyler's no slouch.
Well, buddy, before I let you go, thank your sponsors and a big congratulations to you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you up there. Thank you, LSRTV, Effective Web Solutions. Just thanks to my teammates. I mean, it's the practice that we put in is what shows out here on the track, right? When it comes to Jeff Stabnow making these sets, that's what makes us all look good. So if it wasn't for him, we would definitely not be up here, racing for the win. So thank you very much to Jeff Stabnow.
There you go. There, of course, is Dan West Jr., 5th win of the year with, of course, 14 top 5s and 15 top 10s. And Dan West Jr., again, just another one of those awesome drivers that have ran here with us in the Northwest for a long time. Let's go to the runner-up of the event. Sean Brightsman knows what it's like to be battling for a championship. And, comes so close to battling for a win here. Another member of Team LSRTV. He went out earlier on in the playoffs. But, Sean, what a battle, man. You battled back, and you're able to come back and finish in 2nd place. And you were giving your teammates a fit, even though they were fighting for a championship, or even though they're fighting for the championship. You guys race each other hard is what I'm trying to say, Sean.
Oh, absolutely. There's definitely aggressive racing, safe racing, but aggressive racing. And I don't want it to get turned over to the series bosses, for race manipulation or stuff like that. So we got to watch out, So I had to give it my all, make sure I didn't wreck those guys, but didn't just ride behind them.
It would have been the Chevrolet thing to do if you were part of the NASCAR race last week in Martinsville. But, man, Great job, second place tonight. There was a couple times where I thought if you would have run the top of the track, you could have made the pass. Was that something that you were trying to do, was ultimately win the race, or were you just kind of hanging in there to see what those two were doing? Because they were making a lot of pass efforts on each other.
Yeah, it's kind of just riding. I had several lap newer tires, figured I was going to be safe either way, and just trying to con them into a mistake in a pass and get them kind of down on power, basically having to get that momentum back up and hopefully to shoot back by him.
I got to ask you this question, Sean. Man, what's your take of this season? What would you have done differently if you would have had a chance to go into the championship for? What went right? What went wrong? Do you think it's because you missed races with work or vacations or whatnot? Or, what would you have done differently?
There's really not much I could have done differently. I mean, no matter what, the playoffs piece is such a important part to make sure you're there for all the races. But even if I was there for all the races, who knows? There's a very stout field here in the Northwest Racing Series, and even if I made every single race in the round, and it doesn't mean I would advance. So I can't say I'd do anything differently. It is what it is, and now I get to watch these four. Tyler, former 2022 champion; Devin, last year champion; Dan, two-time champion, and then we got Jeff as well running. And it's going to be just a champion on champion event.
Yeah, all champions and all winners outright for sure. Sean Brightsman will finish obviously in the second spot, and 2 wins on the year right now for the 10 top 5s and 16 top 10s. For the driver out of Puyallup, Washington, now residing in Tucson, Arizona. And that, of course, is Sean Brightsman. Sean, thanks for your time, buddy.
Thank you much, guys.
All right, now let's go down to Devin West. And Devin West will finish third. However, he will be the number 1 seed going into the championship Final 4 race next week at Homestead. And the defending champion, Devin, it has not been no... It's not been no bed of roses. I'm about to break down and sing some Queen for you, but it ain't been no bed of roses. You literally have had to find a way to redeem yourself, work your way in to fight for the races, to fight for the championship rounds. You missed playoff races. You won playoff races the following week. You've done what you needed to do to put yourself in the championship for next week. Congratulations. And a third place finish tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley. It definitely has been a tumultuous playoff run. Obviously missed playoff races in the first 2 rounds, and winning the cutoff race, having to win, and somehow, some way I managed to win both of them. I'm not sure I can do that again if I tried. So I feel very lucky to be here and to be in the championship race.
Yeah, turning your attention to Homestead there too. Again, it's kind of a similar track as far as the multi-groove goes. Third place tonight. What do you need to do behind the wheel to find P1 next week? That's probably where you're going to have to finish to win the championship.
It's going to be tough because obviously, like Dad said and Sean said, Tyler's fast. Every single week, we don't know when we show up to the race night what we're going to have compared to him. So that's always kind of scary. And then obviously, as a team, we build sets together and we run similar sets. And so to have a set advantage over those guys, it's going to be tough. So it'll be all driver really. So I like Homestead a lot. I ran well there in the past, and hopefully I can try to find an edge there. Maybe keep some secrets from him a little bit in practice and try to win.
Well, I know that Ryan Blaney came up shy of being the runner-up last night at Phoenix to be a 2-time back-to-back champion, but you have the opportunity to not only be Season 10 but also Season 11 champion of the Northwest Racing Series. What do you got to do differently here, of course, and what is it going to be like battling your father for the championship next week?
It'll mean a lot. I think I've done it once or twice already in the past, and he got me both times, I think. So hopefully this time I can try to get it done and go 1 for 3. But it'll be fun. It'll be a good race. Like I said, Homestead is a great track. I love that track. The racing is always good there. You have 4 guys that I think are going to be super fast. You're probably going to be running, top 4, honestly. So it should be a good battle.
All right, buddy, there you go. Before I let you go, thank your sponsors, and good luck being the number 1 seed going to the championship race next week at Homestead, sir.
Yep, thank you. Big shout out to you guys up in the booth. You guys do a great job recording these races and getting them out to everybody to watch at home. Then obviously, SRTV, the team, 3 guys in the championship race is awesome. And even for Sean and Brett, who couldn't make it with us, those guys are a big part of this. So shout out to them. And then, so Effective Web Solutions, Modern Source Distributing, and Kenny's Custom Hardwood.
We'll see what happens next Monday night. Of course, Dan West Jr., #1 seed, 7 wins, 3 poles, 14 top 5s, and 18 top 10s for the man that is the defending champion of last year as well. He'll be the #1 seed, battling with all 4 drivers, even Steven. Let's go now grab the man that has moved up in positions, a 2022 series champion, and a driver that's going to be battling the LSRTV guys. Finishing 4th tonight, Tyler King. Tyler, you did what you needed to do, finishing where you needed to finish by points. What's your take of going back to fight for another championship next week?
I'm pretty excited. Didn't have a good year last year. We put together a nice program this season, very consistent. I feel actually deserving of being in the Final Four this year compared to 2022. But last time I was up against 2 of my teammates, so it was 3 Beaver State guys versus 1. And now it's roles reversed, 1 Beaver versus 3 LSRTV guys. I know they work really well together. I'm kind of working solo right now with Stefan out and Paul working all the time. So yeah, we'll see what we got. I did a lot of working on the official side of things at Homestead. Hopefully we got a nice piece and we can come out and be competitive.
Don't count yourself out, man. I know I always go back to the last year thing when in the Xfinity series where Junior Motorsports had 3 cars in, Joe Gibbs had 1, and the Joe Gibbs driver wins it. So chance is still definitely yours. And how you just touched on your Homestead setup, but ultimately, what do you have to do strategy-wise to have the best chance possible going there?
Yeah, that's gonna be the tough one, right? Usually I say, what would Sean do? So I'll probably keep an eye on what Sean does. He's always very good at the strategy. He helped me out today by staying out late on that first run, so I did the same thing the second run, and picked up some spots that I thought for sure I was going to be losing by the end of the race. So keep an eye on him. I'm sure we got a good piece. Like I said, I put a lot of work into it. We've had a really good run on the 1.5 milers this year, and yeah, as long as we keep doing what we're doing, we have a good shot. I know we're going to have a little more competition. With the Win Racing guys, they should be back next week. So, going to have a bunch of guys to fight, and hopefully we can come out on top.
Thank your sponsors, obviously, Tyler King, but I do got to ask you, buddy, what's it going to take to win that championship next week?
Doing everything right. Last time I got the title, I didn't think I had a good shot. Ryan Bloom basically had me covered. He had me by like a second and a half, and then going in the pits, I just sent it on in there, got door to door with him going into pit lane, and I was able to take off and held on to the lead. And hopefully we can do that same thing this time, or just start out front and go win the race and dominate. But thanks to you guys at LSRTV, everybody at the league, Jeff, Sean, and Nicole Bryan Photography, and everybody at Beaver State Racing that helps us out. Thanks, guys.
Going to be a fun one for sure. Tyler King, by the way, moves up to the #3 spot in the Championship 4 standings. And now let's grab the man that finished the race in 6th. However, he will grab that 4th and final transfer spot. He won Daytona earlier this year. He won a race to advance into the playoffs, and he's done everything he needed to be consistent. A former champion out of Billings, Montana. For Team LSRTV, 3 out of 4 drivers, and of course, Jeff Stabnow. Jeff, your take of this season, how fast it's flew by, the end of the road, and you're one of the Championship 4.
Well, I don't know that it's flown by, Wesley. It seems like we've been at this for a heck of a long time. It's great to be in a Championship 4. I've got it's kind of funny. I've been working on the open sets forever. I've got 2 fixed series championships, but I don't have one of the open series truck ones yet. So really like to get one this time.
Hey, man. Yeah. Tonight you had spurts of having a really good race, really good contention of maybe pulling this thing off. You ran the high line really well. It seemed like you found the tire strategy late into the run. Now moving over to Homestead, did anything that you learned tonight translate, do you think, for next week to give yourself the best chance possible?
Absolutely. Better fuel mileage math. I came out of the pits. I short pit too early because I screwed up a pit stop and got back up with the front guys and then looked at the fuel gauge and realized I was a lap and a half short tonight. So I had to run around saving fuel mileage or saving gas that whole last run. So bring a calculator is what I learned.
Jeff, what are we going to see with the Team LSRTV drivers next week? You got 3 out of 4. Tyler King, obviously, for Beaver State Racing. He's a former champion as well. But a race of champions, I'd like to picture it and name it, because everybody has won races. They've all won championships. Every one of you Final Four. What are we going to see from Team LSRTV with yourself and West's family trying to beat King, or what's going to go down next Friday night? What do you have to do?
That's a good question, right? So obviously it's champions galore here, right? We've got a whole bunch of guys that have been there, been under pressure, and kept it together and won a championship. And that's a lot of times hard, is just keep the nerves there on those championship races together and, not get too far down after a screw up or maybe not even making the screw ups, right? Just having that perfect race. It's hard, especially when you're going against guys that, can do it. For me, I'm kind of behind the 8 ball. I'm going to be out of town most of the week for work. So I probably won't even get a whole lot of laps in this week. So kind of counting on those guys to finish up the set this week. And definitely I'm a little bit worried about next Monday.
Well, buddy, before we let you go, Jeff, thanks for your time. Thank your sponsors, and we look forward to seeing you guys battle it next Monday night.
All right, man, I appreciate it. Big old shout out to LSRTV. You guys are the best in the business. Just no doubt in my mind about that. CRN, love your radio station down there, and just love the fact that we're on that. And, still thinking about all those people down there in North Carolina, man. It's been a tough year for a lot of people down there. I know that's probably not your audience, but the ones that are struggling, but still all in our hearts and minds. And, just shout out to the team, man. I mean, it's kind of a long, grueling season, and there's just times where you just don't feel like doing it, and having good teammates to push you in, make you get out of that divot on the couch and get your butt up to the race sim on those nights where you really don't want to. It's kind of everything, to be able to have teammates like that, and guys you get along with, guys you look forward to hanging out with on the, during the week, building these sets and practicing. So, big shout out to the team, and then big shout out to everybody in the league. We got such a great group of guys. Tyler's having a heck of a season here this year. But they're just good guys. James Vining, Frank Harris, so many of them, the Win Racing guys. Just lots of good guys in this league, lots of good drivers. So just appreciate everybody.
There's the thoughts of Jeff Stabnow. As again, we mentioned, it'll be Devin West, Dan West Jr., Tyler King, and Jeff Stabnow for the Championship 4. A race of champions, as I just labeled it. They've all won. They've all won championships. And Jeremy Stanley, in closing, one driver will hoist the title of being the Season 11 champion next week. Congratulations, Devin West. Winner here tonight at Auto Club, Homestead, Miami Speedway, Precision Banking, 1.5 miles. What could you add, Jeremy, to set the stage for what we'll see next Monday night, sir?
You said it perfectly. We're going to see the same but even better racing next week. This track is definitely, in my book, one of the best things or best places to close out the season. So hopefully everyone tunes in next week. You guys are going to be in for a great show.
It certainly will be an amazing one. For everybody at Rocket Racing Media with Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten on production. For Jeremy Stanley, I'm Wesley Outland. We'll see you next week at Homestead to decide the title of the Championship 4.